Welcome back to another juicy yoga class. Inner thighs, outer hips. Again, not a problem anyone has in jiu-jitsu or life in general. Or maybe it is. Let's start in... Correct. On our butt. Usually I try to avoid seating stuff because seated poses are really tough on someone who has stiff hip flexors and a stiff lower back. But you can cheat by leaning into a wall. If you have a Pilates ball, like a big ball behind you, perfect. You can also just use your old hands, place them behind you, wide feet, windshield wipe from side to side. And again, I repeat myself, for a good reason, because no one ever listens. Go slower, go slower. Because when you go fast, your nervous system will have to respond and defend your poor joints from injury. So when you go fast, your nervous system will not let go of the grip of the muscles, and that will make you feel much stiffer than you actually are. So keep going from side to side. And before you even notice it, you will have improved your range of motion by just using correct technique and the correct speed. A couple more from side to side. Stop with the left knee forward and move your right leg back pretty far away. So it's kind of like a half swastika symbol. So like 90 degrees in the knees and more or less 90 degrees in the hips. One hand on the heel, the other hand on the knee, and do a push-up. Sit back up and touch the other heel and the other knee. And this might be really far off, but just try to touch them to get into the back hip. And then the front hip. So just move between the ankles or the shin bones in your own tempo. So how deep you go is not, it's out of the question. It's not, it doesn't matter, and you should absolutely not compare yourself with anyone else, not even yourself 15 years ago, because that doesn't help. It just demotivates us if we compare. It's much better to be present in what you're doing, trying to do the pose as good as you can on the level at which you're doing it. Some ancient motherly wisdom right there. Let's move towards the left leg and turn this stretch into a deeper butt stretch. Hands in front of you. Move the other way, Mia, so that the left knee is forward. Oh yeah, we're doing it. Never mind. So left knee points forward. You're in a plank pose, but the left knee is carrying a lot of weight. And from here, the more you release, the more you let go, the more intense the stretch will be. So we're not going from plank, boom, down. We are taking our time to slide back slightly, keep the arms engaged. The more weight you have into the hands, the less of a stretch there will be. So just like you are a professional in your shower at your home to adjust the heat and the cold of the water to a absolute perfect accurate intensity or heat, the same kind of subtlety you have to develop when you go into a pose like this. Not too fast, not too slow, not too intense, and if it's not intense enough it will be boring. So you have to find this perfect spot and take a few breaths. I wouldn't say that it takes a lot of hard work to get big improvements in a yoga for BJJ practice, but it takes consistent work over a longer period of time, usually longer than we expect. Usually we're going for the instant gratifications and the fast rewards and the shortcuts. But unfortunately, no money in the world will be able to buy you progress. Only effort and consistency will buy you progress in this. Okay, switching sides. Ooh, la, 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 la. So now the right knee is forward, the left knee is back. Half swastika position, switching between moving back into the back leg and the back hips, and doing a push-up on the front hip. There should be a certain level of pain here, good pain, not sudden crippling pain, but kind of a nice, juicy, aching pain when you go deep into the pose. Find your rhythm, and most likely you will have to slow that rhythm down 5–10%. Really good news. Your body is the most adaptable piece, the most adaptable thing in the known universe. The human body can adapt to almost any situation. Even your crazy schedule and the stupid ergonomic angles of your work chair, your body is super malleable and adaptable. And this is great news, because if you push it through a practice like this for long enough, it will adapt. Not to every pose, but to most poses, the poses that matters. Move this into a plank pose with the right shin under your belly. So the heel is more or less under the left hips. It doesn't work if the foot is under the right hip. You need a certain angle to get into your right ass cheek. And what's counterintuitive is that the more you force here, the more you force down into the ground, the less intensity there will be. The more you are able to relax, the more intense the pose will be. Kind of a weird correlation, but when you get the hang of it, the reward of being able to relax will give you more sensation, more intensity. Three more breaths. Every millimeter that you can go lower here over the process of weeks and months, every millimeter will improve your guard, your lasso and your open guard, an order of magnitude more than the effort you put into the yoga. That is why this practice is so damn efficient for jiu-jitsu, because you don't need a lot of time in yoga to see massive improvements in jiu-jitsu. Yoga progress takes time, but jiu-jitsu progress is much faster. Okay. Huh?
I was saying the specific pose for taking the back, putting hooks in.
Right, good point. Good point. Mia will do this kneeling, I will do it standing. My proportions lets me do poses like this with ease, and I get more efficiency out of doing it like this. Mia does it like this. So I go from side to side with the elbows touching the inner thighs, kung fu stretching like this. And Mia goes one leg out, moving back and forwards. Inner thighs, inner thighs. Crack, crack, says the hips and knees. Switch sides, Mia. So we are intentionally doing different things, Miha and I, because Mia is slightly stiffer than I am, and I also want to show you where the goal is to be in a stretch like this. This is the start, but this is the final goal, to be able to go deep into your hips, sit down with ease, come up with ease, and this. You're either born with this gift or you have to work really hard to be able to do a physical feature like this. But there's no way to measure it, there's no way to compete in it. This is just one of these things that will be very, very good for your jiu-jitsu progress, but of course also imagine being 85 years old and still be able to do the stuff that the 20 years old can only dream of. That is a superpower that we could all work hard on achieving. All right? See you in the next video.